Here's the selling scenario. You hang up the phone or you walk out of a meeting and you say to yourself, wow, that was a difficult prospect. And then you start sharing with your peers and colleagues about this difficult prospect, making excuses such as, well, you know, I think she was having a bad day. Or, well, he just doesn't respect salespeople. Maybe it's time to stop with the excuses and start taking responsibility and admit you ran a lousy sales call. In fact, I would suggest that you thank this prospect because tough prospects raise your sales game. And in fact, you may even want to write this prospect a thank you note. And it might sound something like this. Dear Mr. Prospect, thank you for the meeting last week. Because of your tough, provocative questions, you made me realize that I have got a few things to sharpen in my sales toolbox. Number one, I showed up to the meeting not prepared. I decided to wing it instead of invest time in pre-call planning. And for that, I'm sorry, because I wasted your time. You made me realize that I'm a little complacent, because in this day and age of information, I can do research, I can study. The questions you asked me, the objections you stated are not new. But because I decided to wing it, I stumbled and bumbled. And if I was in your seat, I'd be wondering about my credibility and ability. And the last thing, Mr. Prospect, I need to thank you for is you reminded me of how grateful I am for my good clients. They do know the good work I do, and frankly, no offense to you, but I'd rather be working with those good clients growing business than continue to prospect with tough people like yourself. And in fact, it made me ask myself a few questions. I'm at the end of the year, we're looking at renewals, contracts, raising prices, and I thought, maybe there's some other questions. We're raising prices, but are we raising value? Am I creating clients, or am I creating advocates on the street that are walking billboards singing my praises? So, Mr. Prospect, I want to thank you for running a tough meeting with me and making me recognize that I'm getting a little complacent, perhaps taking my customers for granted. Now, Mr. Prospect, here's what I'm going to do. Next week, I'm going to reach out to you and admit I ran a less than stellar sales call. I hope you'll set up a second meeting with me because I do give you this promise. I'll show up prepared and ready to add value. Thank your tough prospects. They raise your sales game and they'll make you better in 2014. I'm Colleen Stanley, President of Sales Leadership. Thanks for joining us this month.